Friends, let me listen carefully. Anyone listening, do not think you're going to be off the radar of the sector of the Intelligence Committee working tasked with this issue. No level of encryption, no level of patents, no level of spy versus spy talking in gibberish code over a phone is going to frustrate their knowing everything you're doing in real time. And the only protection there is strategic protection, which is massive disclosure and public transparency of everything you are doing. The quickest way to get killed doing this stuff is to do it secretively. If you do it in full view, you're completely safe. Why? Because the people who are in these covert programs, the last thing they want to do is be caught red-handed in a wet works operation. Wet works are assassinations. A wet works operation with the whole world watching. That's why I'm still alive. We have to figure out how to move this, or I have to pass this on to a generation, because, you know, I won't be around for more than another 30 or 40 years. But we need people to understand what the sciences are, because this is the biggest change in the history of the human race. Every CEO and high-tech person and billionaire I've met with wants to do the technology, monetize it, have patents, keep it secret, do the R&D in secrecy, like you're developing another piece of rubbish like this cell phone. This is junk. It's of no real significance at all. Not going to change the world. It's a telephone that you can talk on like in the early 1900s, except it's wireless using the same frequencies of a radio or what have you. It's nothing. It's nothing. Trillions of dollars into nothing. So the paradigm of doing this as a intellectual property and secret, the only way you're going to get that out is if you convince this other hardcore element within the intelligence community and corporate world that they should give up thousands of trillions of dollars of asset-based utilities and coal and oil so that this happens, and they don't want to do that. And believe me, Bill Gates can't take on this multi-trillion-dollar element. Bill Gates has no money at all compared to these guys. What can take them on? The masses of people knowing about it. The lab doing it is live streamed on the internet. It's done fully open source. In the instant you hit the sweet spot in the resonant frequencies of a free energy device, the entire world knows it, and dozens of academic centers reproduce it in real time. You squeeze the toothpaste out of the tube so hard and so fast, no one can put it back in, and the whole world knows about it at each step. Look at it this way. Does everyone know what the internet is? You know how it came about? No, it wasn't Al Gore. It was DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Administration, and the Department of Defense developed it. By the way, they still run it, own it. But the internet, which is really very open source, everyone can get online for free, right? Or you pay a subscription. But the internet itself is free. So what I'm trying to have these folks understand is, let's do this as in place of DARPA, because the government is not going to do this ever. Therefore, there is no equivalent of a DARPA to do this for us. Therefore, let us create our own organization and entity that takes the place of DARPA to create this open source, 0-point free energy platform where it's shared openly. And then that same group would then be able to take that knowledge and do all the thousands of vertical and horizontal applications. This thing, you use it for a little while, it's dead. What if it had a miniaturized ZPE, solid state system in it, and there was no battery in it, or a tiny little one, just as sort of a discharging release of energy? It never has to be plugged in. Your PC never has to be plugged in. Your refrigerators manufactured ships from the factory with a motor. It has a motor in it now, but it's a 0-point energy motor. But the basic energy source and how it works needs to be open source. Does this make sense to folks? Just like the internet is open source. And I'm trying to convince people who are high net worth CEOs, individuals, and also inventors to leave behind this spook model of keep it an intellectual property, have it a trade secret, we'll be so cute, we're going to outfox the secret government, we're going to take the patent for it and divide it into 100 patents and they won't know what we're doing. By the time you've had that thought and it's emanated from your cortex, classified projects know that's what you're going to do. And I'm not kidding. Because they have technologies that are at that level of spyware. What you have just heard, I would say a handful of people on Earth know, even in classified projects. It's highly compartmented. This is really way past TS, SCI, top secret special compartmented intelligence.